Welcome back. We'll be talking about today about the Kennedy family. You always know about the family. They've been a pretty casual. First, we're going to talk about the great Kennedys that we know about it. Let's start with Joseph Kennedy and Ed Kennedy, and John F. Kennedy, of course, and then comes Ed Kennedy. No, I already did that with Kennedy. John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy. Then I'll talk about then I'll talk about John F. Kennedy Jr. and that's gonna be there. And when are we gonna start? In a few seconds from now. Okay, wait. We're gonna start in a few seconds. And Okay. Joseph Kennedy was pretty good. He made in the Roosevelt administration good ideas for the issues of Tim Plains. What his legacy is a coercion. Because the whole Kennedy family makes it quote-unquote. And Joseph Kennedy did that. Joseph Kennedy ideas, the ancients and the ideas of the Kennedy family. Because if you see people like Joseph Kennedy wrote in the Roosevelt administration, and he both worked on the issues of a kind of cool ideas. Because Roosevelt, they both worked on New Deals, but Roosevelt was kind of his boss. He was a father, and he worked to get his son John F. Kennedy elected president. That's amazing, and the issues of the whole thing is the fact that we only have 1 second. No, go first. Okay. He tried to get this popsicle on the thing right here. Okay. Welcome back. There was some things over there, ignore that. About the things Joseph Kennedy actually made the Roosevelt administration's ideas. And the issue I like with Joseph Kennedy is the fact that he's a man who internalities the idea of what is international, because he has the idea. He helped his son get John F. Kennedy be elected president, and all forth of tons of things. Joseph Kennedy actually reminds the body of, you would say, the Kennedy family's schedule. Now let's switch all the way to Ed Kennedy. From now on, all the Kennedys are going to die now. Okay, Ed Kennedy. I think Ed Kennedy is a very interesting politician, because he internalities the idea of international affairs. And for actually at the heart, we can talk about Ed Kennedy more than the people like and Cajuns and all that other stuff. But Ed Kennedy is actually the entertainers for the issues, because what the thing of Ed Kennedy's personality today, really what all personalities are, it early embodies, in fact, what you would call something good at heart. Ed Kennedy was abortion and good at the free politician ideas. The problem is he died too soon. Ed Kennedy really did not have that courage, and some people were mad at him, including this guy who shot him, and then Ed Kennedy died. Is that true? I think Ed Kennedy did die. Did he? I'm not exactly sure that Ed Kennedy really died, but I think he did was assassination. I'll look it up, but I think he was assassinated like the other Kennedy brothers, but for personalities, ideas, I don't know. What? It's a bad idea. Other the ideas of that really, I don't know about Ed Kennedy, that thing, but he died of something, and Ed Kennedy died too soon, but I don't know if he's actually assassinated, so don't take my advice. I don't know. Okay, let's switch on to John F. Kennedy, one of the most inspiring of the Kennedys. 2 minutes is every person, by the way. And I think he is a very interesting president. Because the Kennedy who became president wanted to international, but even though his Brave Pig scheme didn't, he worked as the first Catholic president and in ideas of Catholicism. And no, he didn't just do that. He was democratic on the way, and he did something crazy in World War II. He joined the army, and the ship sank, and some guy just couldn't really swim because it's too wrinkled, so he swam and got him to shore, and that was amazing. He also did the Cuban Missile Crisis when Russia was putting missiles in Cuba. He said to them, no, you better drive them out of Cuba. One of the politicians who died too soon? Yep. I think so. Because the Kennedy politician was unliked, especially for his ideas of not racism. But not racism is good. Because racism is horrible, and Kennedy knew that the segregation going on shouldn't be, and it was bad, because people have been treating them like a fire star, except the only problem is 1963, the same year, does a heroic civil rights agenda. You know about it. He was in a car and got shot in the head and in the neck too. Shortly after he died. Kennedy was actually an inspiring leader. He did lots of more things. But good patience. Let's go to now John F. Kennedy's brother and Ed Kennedy's brother, Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy is a personality figure. Robert knew how to use the skinge under some things. He really knew how to make the way for what you'd call a presidential path, because during the presidency of Bobby Kennedy, he didn't become president, I meant during the life of Bobby Kennedy, he really could have been president, really. He could have been, if it weren't for his death fatally in 1958. He worked on the Johnson administration as well to get it on the Cajuns and the big mortal of the Kennedy whole family. But it's a really international break theistic ideas. They really are going with Bobby Kennedy in his whole life. And that's what happens with anticlericalism, because this man, Bobby Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, who cares Kennedy, but everyone cared about Kennedy. He was an inspired leader during civil rights. He issued a speech that Martin Luther King was assassinated. That disappointed people a lot, because Robert Kennedy's voice was pink. It was also really sad when his brother John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Most fatally, of course. But the political issues of the Kennedy family is really with Bobby Kennedy and his whole career. Except he was assassinated, that really bummed people out, and it was a really sad moment, and wasn't truly recovered from the nation. Okay, let's go to John F. Kennedy Jr. John F. Kennedy Jr. is a personality figure. He is a source of what we need to happen. Because during the life of John Kennedy Jr., it's really hard to say that all people really are Kennedy, because he inside. He also hailed to his did this to his father when in the grave, and it's a famous. He does it first time. He couldn't do it when he was alive. When JFK was alive, he couldn't have the chance to. Actually, he could have, just didn't want to do it, didn't really feel like it. And he also was pretty good during other issues, because Bobby Kennedy is a angel, and John F. Kennedy Jr. is for those, and what you would say as the mind of what is the Kennedys, because in truth, he was pretty nice during his ideas of the fact he is famous. He could have actually been president, like Bobby Kennedy. Ed Kennedy could have, but he didn't really want to, especially Joseph. But the kind of love John F. Kennedy Jr. really impersonates him in a way that he wants to assassinate, like JFK and RFK, because the dations. And I think that resides with all the Kennedy families, except he died in a plane crash that really shocked the nation when he died in the plane crash. Kennedy's going all the way to the Kennedy's legacy. It is a legacy of pain. Those Kennedys inspiredly changed the world, and in fact they did, with how they changed it. With all, not just John F. Kennedy, even Ed Kennedy, even Joseph Kennedy. All the Kennedys changed the world with their speeches, television, everything they can do it. And I think that is all the matter. To the occasions of the Kennedys and the identical issues we know today, and the identical issues of the Kennedys. Because the Kennedys changed the course of this world. How they changed it was with the great parts of what is in the division of the patients. So the Kennedys are great. To let you know, remember the legacy of the Kennedys.